Hello, everyone, and good afternoon once again. We are now live again, and as you can see, I have a new hairdo, so that's why I wrote in the description new do, new chapter. So hopefully it looks good. No? Okay, if you guys have anything to say, please comment. If it looks good, you say, TV Stranger, that looks good. Mm, I want to play. I want to try that. Or you could just say, nah. You could just I don't know, shaved it all off. It can't be worse than what you're having today. But in all seriousness, I would love to hear comments from you guys. I would, of course, treat them as positive reinforcement or positive criticisms. Anyways, so today we are continuing from where we left off, chapter 2 of Hermione the Harem Girl. And for those who are just joining us, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, you can write it down in the comments. I'll be willing and open to listen to any suggestions. If you recommend a new game that I can download, okay, because I don't have any gaming consoles just yet. Maybe in the future if I earn a lot. And if you guys want to sponsor, I'll be open, always open. We also have a YouTube channel that you can that I will include in the link below. So we'll go on and go on to chapter 2. Study, study, study. McGonagall stood by the door, listening for a few minutes, just long enough to know that Harry had failed her. Yeah, she should have known better than to send a boy to well, do, do anything involving a harem, aside from what he was doing at the moment. Curses. Now she had to go to plan B. Well, I mean, seriously, you send a guy to discourage his best friend in giving him a harem. That's like, what? I mean, do you seriously expect that to not go on that well? Anyways, moving on. After several eventful hours, and we shall not speak of the events in between, of course, since this is rated PG, still, somehow, I don't know. Is any story with a harem on it qualified for PG? Even if you're not, explicitly detailing the engagements and whatnot. Hmm. Well, if you have any ideas about that one, please comment down below. What's this? Harry asked with a sinking feeling. That's the schedule I worked out, Hermione explained proudly. And I made sure you have plenty of time to study. Couldn't there be a bit less study time? Harry asked hopefully. Only if you get better grades, Hermione said firmly. Remember, you actors reflect on the rest of us now. Of course, Harry sighed. He knew there was a catch. He just knew it. Knew it! I'm not, against studying either. And yeah, I mean, pros and cons. It's a give and take. Even if you have, no matter what kind of relationship you have, it should be give and take. Otherwise, that's just selfish. You know what I mean? You hang out with Ron. Your hanging out with Ron time is coming up, Hermione said thoughtfully. Be back in 30 minutes. Why 30 minutes? Because that's how much recovery time the book said you'll need, Hermione said absently. Luna, you're with me this next time. Thank you, Hermione. Me too, Hannah said hopefully. All right, thanks. Harry slipped out of the room while the girls determined on who got to go next. While he wasn't quite sure what they meant, he was sure it did not bode well for him. Really? They're taking turns and that doesn't bode well for you? I guess on your stamina, probably. While he wasn't quite sure what they meant, oh yeah, I already read this. What can I say? Boy's got no inner eye. No inner eye. Next minutes later, Harry was back in the common room being confronted by his friends. Well? Ron demanded. You're right, Harry admitted sadly. It was all just a plot to make me study and get better grades. I knew it, Ron said in triumph. And she knew I was too smart to fall for a plan that simple. What was I supposed to do? Harry demanded. She's got McGonagall helping her. I guess you're right, mate, Ron said sadly. Only one thing we can do, yeah? Pray to God that she's satisfied with you and doesn't start trapping the rest of us. Ron replied, Study hard, Harry. Study so we don't have to. Wow, that's just sad, man. Really. Thank you for taking the time to meet me, Mr. Granger, Mrs. Granger. Not at all, Professor McGonagall. Now, what was it that you wish to speak about? It's about your daughter, I'm afraid. What is it? Hermione's mother demanded. What is wrong with Hermione? I'm afraid she recently discovered an obscure law that allows wizards who have obscure magical powers to form their own harems, and she took it upon herself to build a harem. Hermione's father groaned. Who is it? Tell me who he'll at least treat her well. Her friend Harry Potter, McGonagall said incredulously. You can't tell me you're okay with this. Okay? No, her mother sighed. Accept it? Yes. It's our own fault for nurturing her love of reading, her father added. She read 1001 Arabian Nights as a child and somehow got the idea that a seraglio was some sort of a combination library and a sorority house. I mean, if you look at it that way, for a friendless girl like Hermione Granger, you know, it's the best. It's the next best thing. Like seriously, you get your besties, your homies. As you know, sorry, I don't do the black voice well. It's yeah. Anyway, that's just for fun. It's just for fun, guys. I mean no racism. We don't do that here. Okay, I'm trying to perfect the black voice, but you know, what can you do? Anyway, the fact that she got a boyfriend out of the deal was icing in the cake, so as far as she was concerned, her mother explained, we tried to explain to her, but, well, she figured out that the other harem girls would be her friends and she's always been such a shy girl. It didn't help things when she discovered I Dream of Jeannie reruns on the telly. Thought the costume was very stylish. So we're not going to do anything about it? McGonagall asked slowly. Of course we are going to do something about it, her mother said quickly. It took us 10 years. Wow, that's quite a lot. 10 years to find the only support group in Europe for parents whose daughters have joined or formed harems. Her father groaned. I was hoping never get a chance to join. Is there such a group? I don't know if that's, really true, but, I mean, if, you know, live and let live. I mean, if you guys are well aware that you have to share attention of a guy, and, it's all on the sisterhood, I mean, go for it. Seriously. If if you guys, like, have a sisterhood of sorts, you don't claw each other's out every hour, and you come to understand between the guy and all of yous, then yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I'm a guy. I'll be honest. It's a bit of an alternative motive, alter, bleh, ulterior motive that I would, of course, if I ever got a chance to get one. But what are the chances? Anyway, you get a girl who gets very understanding, who's like a dream girl, and then wants to have other girls join you. What are the chances in that? I mean, that's only goes in fan fiction, which I read. I will be honest, but what's the chances that that happen in real life? To me, here in the Philippines, not really. But anyway, I'm not dissing anyone who does that lifestyle. Indeed, if that makes you happy, go for it. I don't have any problems. I don't have anything wrong with, guys having to, be happy with who they are, what they have with. I mean, if that makes you live a long, fulfilling life, sure, go. All right. It's getting really philosophical here around here, people. But yeah, that's on my views on harems. And of course, not taken that I'm against monogamy. I'm a Christian Catholic, and my parents have been married my whole life, even before that, to be honest. And it's great. It's great to have two parents and doing the stuff that they do. I'm cool with that. And I also respect people who have more than one. You know, given that it's not adultery per se that you would hurt the other people involved in that relationship. I only approve that because instead of just fighting each other, they can just come to agreement and then have the best of both worlds. Okay, I'm just saying. Now continue. I see. Thank you for your time then, McGonagall said dully as she wandered out of the room. At least she picked up her friend as a harem master, her, her mother said with a weak grin. Probably planned things when he missed the first year. This is your fault. How's it my fault? You're the smarter one in this relationship. She got her brains from you, and she's got her stubbornness from you. Let's just agree that the fault whoever wrote that damn book, and and designed the I Dream of Genie costumes. And designed the I Dream of Genie costumes. Yeah, there you go. That's compromise. You compromise on who's at fault. Somehow. Very good, Harry. Hermione said with a predatory smile. You finished your homework early. That means we have more time to study other things. Like what? Anatomy. Oh God, I love homework! Harry screamed a few sweaty minutes later. In the Gryffindor common room, a moment of silence was called after they heard Harry's cry. One of their own has fallen into the darkness. Poor Harry, Ron lamented. You will be missed. Yeah, poor Harry. Multiple girlfriends. Yeah, poor guy. Then again, he does have to feed them, give them housing. The clothing allowance must be scary. But then again, he's secretly a billionaire, so whatever. We don't do that here. We are dirt poor. We cannot afford that. Unless all of three of you, four or whatever, you work, then, and someone has to stay in the house to take care of the kids once the kids come in, and, has to cook everyone their meals, and, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Alright. Minerva was sitting in her office to find a way to dissuade Miss Granger from her insistence on being a member of a harem when Harry burst through the door. Yes, Mr. Potter? McGonagall said sternly. Here's my homework! Harry practically threw it at the woman. Everything's been assigned, including extra credit. Thank you, Mr. Potter, she said in a bit softer. Have you found this out? Speaking in Harry's bag as he left the room in a dead run. Can't talk now, Professor. I gotta study more anatomy. Well, maybe this harem thing isn't so bad after all, she mused. I, I should have known Miss Granger would have find a creative way. Find creative. Sorry. I should have known that Miss Granger would find creative ways of forcing Mr. Potter to study. Yep, creative. Let's go with that. Very creative. While Harry and the rest of the harem were studying, a quote and unquote, anatomy, Hermione was in the headmaster's office. What can I do for you, Miss Granger? I was doing a bit of light reading and I found something horrible, Hermione said stiffly. Oh? I found out you've been violating school procedure, Hermione continued. Now that I think we can get everything taken to order before Daphne and Tracy tell their fathers. Who just happened to be at the Board of Governors, Dumbledore sighed. What is it, Miss Granger? According to regulation 735-2, paragraph 1, subsection A, she began. She really memorizes everything, really. Photographic memory, probably. It has never been confirmed, I think, by JK. Or was it? If you guys have an idea, please let me know in the comments. Really, I mean, I'm just a fan fiction reader of all the possibilities, a lot of possibilities could be brewing in there somewhere, but most of them suggest that she has photographic memory. Dear old JK didn't exactly confirm it. She just said scary smart. I mean, that could be anything. Good genius, true, but not photographic memory genius. Who knows? Any sanctioned harem is to be given appropriate quarters and resources. Yes, I'm aware of that regulation. Dumbledore agreed. What of it? You have yet to give any to Harry's harem, Hermione said sternly. Now, I'm willing to overlook this so long as I'm assured that it was just an oversight on your part, and with your assurance that the situation will be remedied as soon as possible. Harry has a harem? Dumbledore was struck on the last thought. How did he manage that? The paperwork alone takes hours to fill out, and that's just the paperwork to get the paperwork to get the paperwork. Dang. They really didn't like people having harems. But hey, if you're going to go through all that red tape nightmare, then I see. Well, you're getting the ministry stipend and everything? Wait, it wasn't that difficult, she said in examining her fingernails. Most of the work involved correcting errors in all on the forms. I see. Well, you're getting the ministry stipend and everything. Form 42-1 allowed me to drain the funds set up for the due to Regulation 16-4 subsection A1, which specified that after 200 years of laying idle, the fund shall go to whoever registers the first harem, which happens to be Mr. Potter. Now, about those quotas. Hermione steered the conversation back to the original topic. They're going to have to be lodged so we have room for the library. Library? Of course. Go on, Miss Granger. I'm going to have several bathrooms, plus extra space to expand. Okay, and that is the end of chapter 2. However, we have an omake continuation from from yesterday's omake 2. We have doc internships, defense professor. So here we have Harry, since being an apprentice, Dark Lord didn't quite work out for him due to, killing the minions. He interns with the defense professor. Sorry. He interns with the current defense professor who he suspects would, kill him. I know, it's twisted logic and it's fun. Thank you for joining us such short notice, Dumbledore said warmly. Happy to have a chance to teach at Hogwarts, the new professor said. But what happened to the old DADA? Afraid she was killed. Terribly tragic. Voldemort? Sort of. The important thing is that Mr. Potter's chosen to intern as a defense against the dark arts professor. Yes, he mentioned that, the man agreed. One of the things that encouraged me to take a job. Yes, well, I suggest you don't mind any odd behavior Harry might choose to exhibit. I see. The man frowned. Well, if you'll excuse me, I must be going. Good idea. Harry's waiting outside, and I'm sure you're eager to meet him. Yes, headmaster. He got out of his chair and walked down the stairs to meet Harry. You're the new DA, professor? Harry asked. I am. Great. Harry enthused. When are we going to kill Harry Potter? What? Every DA professor in the past has attempted to do me grievous bodily harm, Harry explained. Granted, one of them didn't intend to harm me, but there you are. I was thinking that we could pretend to befriend him, but you're Harry Potter. And? Do you think it's a bit odd that try an elaborate plan to kill yourself? Good point. So I think we should switch places. You be Harry Potter and I'll be you, for purposes of killing Harry Potter, that is. Works for me, Professor. Good thing. So what do you do next? We forget this plan to kill each other. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Professor. Harry said it innocently. No clue at all. No clue at all. Yep, I'm definitely convinced in this argument that he has no way whatsoever any designs in attempting on his professor's life who takes the place of Harry Potter. Wonderful. Very convincing. Don't you think, guys? I agree. Hermione was sitting in the common room holding a hand mirror, practicing his stern expression. Needs a bit more glare, she mused. Hermione looked up at Harry and entered the room. What's this I hear you trying to kill the defense professor? I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about, Harry replied. What are you doing? Practicing, she replied, shooting him a stern look. How is it? Could curdle milk, he said cheerfully. Really? She asked hopefully. You're not just saying that, are you? Really? Thank you, Harry, she said emotionally. That's the nicest thing you ever said to me. I mean it too, Harry assured her. Got a letter from Ron. Oh? He's been given an offer he's going to start this summer. Just like that? Just like that. He must have been really good at tryouts. He didn't have a tryout. Then how? The cannons were, well, there's no good way of saying this. The cannons weren't very, well, he showed up and they gave him a job. Yeah. That's one way of getting it. Showing up during the tryouts and no one else showing up. Very nice. Good for him, Hermione said warmly. How's the pay? It's still a professional team, even if it's the lowest ranked one. Good. Now, about the defense professor, she demanded. Why exactly are you planning to kill him? I'm not planning to kill him, Hermione. Well, every defense professor has attempted to do me grievous bodily harm, Harry said flippantly. I thought it would be fun to be on the other side for a change. That doesn't excuse you for your attempt at murder. The other thing about the defense professors was that they never succeeded. I'm not actually going to hurt him. Oh, well, I must confess I was worried there for a second after you killed all those Death Eaters, mini professionals, 10 Musketeers. They were all evil, Harry protested. This defense professor is a very good chance of not dying if he doesn't try to kill me. Or annoy me. You can't just kill him for annoying you. Why not? What do you mean, why not? The defense professor handbook says killing annoying students. But only if they're really annoying. Let me see that. Oh. Well. See? Yes, well, I still don't want you to kill him. But the handbook says I'm interning as deputy head mistress. And according to my handbook, I outrank you. You in this round, Hermione. Next time. Next time. Yes, yes. Good, good. Morning, Professor, Harry said cheerfully. I see you're eating eggs. Excellent. The fork froze halfway through his mouth. What's wrong with the eggs? Oh, no, nothing. Nothing at all, Harry said with a devilish grin. Enjoy your breakfast. Be sure to have some of the bacon, too. Harry put down his fork. The man put down his fork, stared at his food for a few minutes. I'm going to the hospital wing if anyone needs me. Harry went onto his seat next to Hermione and watched the man leave with a smirk. What did you do to his food? Not a thing, Harry said cheerfully. Why do you ask? Uh-huh. And of course, that ends this chapters or the continuation from Doc Internship. So I guess you could say it's a chapter 2 to an omake. So it's just kind of cool. Really, really, really cool. Anyway, so that is it for today. And hopefully you guys enjoyed my fan fiction reading. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. If you have any suggestion, do the same. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to get more content. Or if you have some ideas or even your own fan fictions that you want me to read, of course I will need to ask for the owner for permission to do so because we don't want anyone taking down the channel because we didn't do anything without anyone's permission. Okay? So with that, thank you all, and I'll see you guys next time.